What's going on, gig hustlers? This is the Gig Accountant. My name is Naz, and I'm a licensed CPA in the state of New Jersey. I'm also a gig economy worker working on food delivery platforms such as Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates. Referral links are down in the description box below if you're interested in signing up for any of those. So, guys, I had an incident yesterday where I left the food delivery at the customer's house, and I got reamed about it. Do you believe that? I got reamed about leaving the food at the customer's house. So this is what happened, guys. I went to the customer's house. It was one of those complexes with the townhouses, and there's a garage on one side and there's their door on the other side. But their door, there's no street to it. You have to walk around the attached houses and get to it. So I get to the garage side, the street side. I gave a call to the customer, no answer. I texted the customer, no answer. What should have set out the flags was the fact that I had texted the customer earlier advising them where I was, in relation to their house, and they never responded. So I get out, I gather all the items, all the food items with a lot of stuff to carry. I walk over to their door. I take the long way around because I didn't know. I think there was no other way. It was just one way to get out. Walk around the building, get to their door. I see the lights on. I walk up their porch, knock on their door, ring their doorbell. No answer. I said, okay, what's going to happen here? So I go ahead and call customer support to advise them of the situation. So they say they're going to call the customer back, give me a call back. So I decided that I've been here long enough. I have 3 other orders on my queue that need to get done. They're all late already. So I set up the food on top of the customer's grill that was on their porch. I took a picture, I texted it to the customer, and I went on my way. As I was leaving in my car, driving away, the customer support called me to advise me that the customer was upset because I left the food at the front porch. What would you have preferred? Would you have preferred me just to have driven off with the food and then you didn't get it at all? Okay. But actually, that's exactly what customer support advised me to do. They advised me, for future reference, if the customer is unresponsive, just take the food with me and I can dispose of it as I see fit. And apparently the customer only responded to the call because they saw my text with a picture. What were they doing inside? Why were they not answering the door? What's going on here? Very ridiculous. Very ridiculous. But yeah, and it's kind of, so Grubhub's advice has gone against what I've been preaching, which is, if the customer is unresponsive, if they don't answer the door, leave the food at the door. Leave it at their residence or leave it at their place of work, which I've done in the past. And it's never been a problem until this time. So, but apparently Grubhub advises you to take the food and dispose of it, not to leave it at the customer's door, which is a surprise. But then they'll beg you to drive back to the customer's house to give them the food. The customer support will beg you, the customer will beg you. You can't win. So, and then after that, the order, I was on a roll last night. I had a lot of orders. I had another order that I delivered. It was already past 10 o'clock at night. I get to the house is dark except for one lit room. I tried calling the customer, texting the customer, they didn't respond. I rang the doorbell and knocked on the door. Only response was a dog that went crazy, went nuts, barking. I called customer support, no answer. And so they said I can proceed on to the next order. So I was like, okay, now based on the prior incident, should I leave the food or not? Well, I called the customer. She sounded like an older lady. I assumed that she already fell asleep. That's why she wasn't answering. And I didn't want the food just to be sitting there all night, so I decided to just take it with me based on the incident that I had earlier. So But yeah, now that this entire situation, that entire incident has me questioning what's the best practice really with these food deliveries when the customer is unresponsive, because I'm sure as hell not going to return back to the customer with the food after I've left. So I want to avoid that situation. I think for the most part I'm going to continue leaving the food with the customer at the customer's residence. What do you guys think is the best practice? Do you guys think it's best to take the food with you or to leave it with the at the customer's residence or place of business? Leave your comments and thoughts below. All right, guys, that's all I got to say for now. I'll talk to you guys later. So, peace, guys.